You know, I've probably driven over this bridge tons of times over the last few decades, and I don't think I've ever really looked at it that closely. But ever since I started crossing it on foot, I keep noticing all these details that I love. As a former architect, I usually get most of my inspiration from the city and world around me, and the Ben Franklin Bridge here in Philadelphia is no exception. There's something magical about being able to see the sheer size of these structures up close. You start to notice things like the details of the railings, the choice of color, and how light the cables feel. There's a lot of beauty in the things that we often pass over and consider ordinary. There was so much thought behind every detail and each decision that was made, you just have to reframe your mindset to take those into account. It's like this bridge here. Thousands of people cross this bridge every day and they don't pay any attention to it, but if you just take a few seconds to appreciate it, it's pretty nice. It took 4 years to build the bridge starting in 1922, and it's amazing to see all the details that went into the design. It's nice to admire the bridge from afar, but you can also get a closer look by walking across it. I'm really lucky to be surrounded by all this incredible architecture that designers way more talented than me have created in the past. They provide a lot of inspiration for my own designs. For example, I really like the cutouts in these railings because I think they add a lot to making the railing feel more weightless and you can see what's happening behind them. I think I want to incorporate this into my piece. So I'm usually running when I go across this bridge, so I don't look down as much, but walking has made me really remember how bad my fear of heights is. But as much as I like admiring architecture like the Ben Franklin Bridge and learning to deal with my fear of heights, I have a more pressing issue at home. I have way too many books. They're everywhere. I can't live like this. So I need to figure out a solution that will organize all of this chaos and look good while doing it. Not unlike yours truly right here. Anyway, let's get started. I'm going to use the bridge as my main source of inspiration because I cross it every day. I think it looks great and it's just a beautiful piece of architecture. So my goal is to translate its characteristics into a functional design that captures the bridge's essence and its personal significance to me. So let me show you my design process. When I use architecture for inspiration, I don't want to create a direct replica. Instead, I want to capture the spirit of the bridge and translate it into my own personal aesthetic. The clean lines, the interplay of tension and support, the way the materials come together to create something that feels both grounded and airy, these are the ideas I'm channeling into my design. I usually start with rough sketches, playing with different concepts that echo the bridge's structure without being too on the nose about copying the form. I do a lot of sketching when designing a piece of furniture. You can see how I start by scribbling, doing loose sketches, trying a lot of different ideas, and start honing in on the ones I like the most. I know that I'm moving in the right direction when I start drawing the same design over and over again, but just modify smaller elements of it. And this is what I ended up with. I like to play with asymmetry and negative space a lot in my designs. You can see I incorporated the railing cutout detail on the sides, and the front and back curves really showcase that arcing, sweeping feeling that the bridge has. And this piece in the back is going to be some sort of vertical element to represent those cables that come down. I don't know the material yet, but that's a problem for future me. And I even played around with orientation. So I went with this one here because it feels lighter and airier. And this one's nice, but it feels too heavy and grounded, which doesn't feel like the bridge to me. So once I'm happy with the design, I usually move into 3D modeling. By moving these ideas into digital modeling, I'm able to experiment further, refining the proportions, and exploring how different materials might interact. This 3D modeling step isn't necessary for everyone, but I like doing it because it's worth figuring out all the exact measurements and potential issues I might run into. After this, I'll usually create a small model prototype. This is a habit left over from my architecture days. In the shop, I need to figure out my materials, so I pick out the wood type and any other additional items I want to use, like glass or acrylic. Prototyping is where the ideas begin to take shape. Small-scale models help me explore joinery ideas and the overall integrity of the design. I want to incorporate a vertical element that represents the bridge's cables, and I've always wanted to work with fluted glass, but it's really expensive and super heavy. I did find fluted acrylic, and this is a lot lighter, but it only comes in clear, and I want to include some color into this bookcase, so that just means that I have to experiment. I feel good about the design at this point, so it's time to get building.
Chasing love can drive you mad and make you feel real good, make you feel so sad. Oh, 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 chasing love.
After I've gotten my wood from the lumberyard, I like to figure out the cut list and plan my day. I'm the kind of girl who likes to make checklists and then check off the first box that says, Number 1, make list, and then congratulate myself because I feel like I've accomplished something.
Make you blue when it don't look out like you want it to. Oh, 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 chasing love.
I don't know if this is the case for everyone, but I really despise glue-ups. This bookcase had 2 really tricky ones, and I cannot describe how relieved I am when they're done.
Drive you mad and make you feel real good, make you feel so sad. Oh, 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 chasing love. Oh, 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 chasing love.
Okay, we're making progress. So I don't know if I could call a piece a Kodamari design without putting roundovers on the edges. And I'm not talking 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch, those small roundovers. I'm talking about chunky guys, like minimum 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 inch. I just really like the way it feels when you run your hand down the side and it feels really inviting and natural and satisfying. And I think I own every size roundover bit known to mankind, so it's time to turn these hard edges into smooth goodness. These are so satisfying. I just really like the way they feel. I think that they kind of mimic the shape of your hand naturally. Wow, I just love roundovers. I used Osmo Raw on this project because I wanted the white oak to stay fairly natural colored and not be too yellow. Seeing that grain pop is one of my absolute favorite parts of this whole process. I was really stressed about this complicated glue up, so I asked my amazing shopmate Annalise to help me with it, and after an hour of planning and dry fitting, we managed to get it done with only 1 or 2 mini heart attacks, so overall I consider this a win. So the bookcase is pretty much done, as you can see. There's only one thing that bothers me, and it's this back panel of fluted acrylic. When I ordered this piece, the company told me they could only cut it as one piece if the flutes ran horizontal due to the nature of their panels and everything, but I want the flutes to run vertically. So I figured maybe they could cut it in 2 pieces and I could join it, but you can very clearly see this seam right here and it really bothers me. This doesn't even have the color on it yet, so I think I have to figure out a different solution. Look at this. This is not bad. Like, I think it looks pretty good. It's just a piece of regular clear acrylic with tinted green window film on one side, and then the other side has a film that is made to look like fluted glass. And sure, if you like run your hands over it, it's not textured, but at this point, I don't care, and I just want this to be over. So I think I'm gonna go in this direction. The only problem is I'm not very good at applying the film. There's definitely some air bubbles and stuff, but it's just another instance for practice makes perfect. And with that, we're done. I'm gonna get this photographed and then see who I can wrangle to help me move this into my house. I have to go really far to photograph my pieces, about 20 whole steps next door. Truly, I suffer for my art.
Gonna fly away, go a million miles, and take a holiday where I can hide a while, and where the crowds are gone. I'll hear the siren song saying, "Here, a life like this, you can do no wrong. A life like someone."
Thanks for joining me on this build. If you like this video, please subscribe for more projects inspired by the world around us. And I really want to hear what inspires you to create, so leave a comment down below. Until next time, keep building, keep creating, and stay inspired. Thank you.